where do I begin with this? When I graduated college, I took a year off, and I knew I wanted to be a lawyer. I knew I was in between like entertainment law, and it's actually an interesting kind of mix. I was in between becoming an entertainment lawyer or joining the Marine Corps.
Wow.
And I had some family in the Marines that were serving in Iraq in college, and I really thought I was going to sign up and be a ground officer. And while the wars were going on, because my cousins were out there, and I remember taking a philosophy of law class and really enjoying the subject. So I changed my major to philosophy, and then I realized, well, my cousins were in the war, and they were telling me, you know what, like you don't want to be doing this out here. I think you should, go in as an officer, go to college or go to law school. And they started talking about the JAG Corps, and there's like lawyers out here that are Marine. So I ended up looking into Syracuse, and they had a national security counterterrorism program that was like pretty new at the time, and not many schools offered that program. Um, so I ended up applying and got in and went on a tour to the East Coast. Like I think it was in April. And I remember the day I went, it was like a beautiful sunny day. The law school was beautiful. Everything was just nice and sunny and warm. And I was like, wow, this is reminds me a lot like Los Angeles, and it's a beautiful campus. So I ended up committing to go to Syracuse, and then I realized that's like the only out of the 10 days of the year where it's nice and warm. That's what it was. So I'm like, wait, when I went to my first year there, I was like, what did I sign up for? It's cold out here and law school is tough. But I ended up going through law school. I went through the JAG Corps Marine Corps training program. Unfortunately, I had an injury and a shoulder injury while I was in the middle of law school. I think I was playing flag football. I don't know if you guys still do that over there. But anyways, I just decided, you know what, I'm just gonna pass the bar and get a job in California. I ended up doing business litigation. Did that for a couple of years, really enjoyed it, got a lot of good litigation experience. Then I got a job offer in downtown LA doing insurance defense work, representing insurance companies to defend claims, and really didn't get a lot of satisfaction in it. I started seeing these big checks we were writing to these plaintiffs' lawyers. And then one day I'm like, you know what? I'm really considering being a plaintiff's personal injury lawyer. I got more behind of, I was more like happy when people were getting paid out from insurance companies than actually defending the claims. And it's a good idea. It's a good indication that maybe this isn't what I want to do as far as being a defense lawyer. So my dad works at a cemetery, and he had a client or a customer come in that was involved in a pedestrian versus auto accident. They lost their grandmother that was a pedestrian jaywalking, and they were looking for legal advice. And they said, "Hey, my son's a lawyer." My dad called me up, and I told him, I do insurance defense work. I can't really do this work, so I sent it out to my buddy that had his own practice, and I moonlighted with him and helped him out because I was interested in learning it. And we settled it. We settled it for a lot of money, and then I thought, wow, I just made like 2 years salary on a couple demand letters. This is crazy, and I got to help someone out too. So then basically I made a decision to go off on my own, took some of that money. I had about 6 months of living expenses, and I started passing out cards, and that's how I started my law firm, Sepulveda-Sanchez Accident Lawyers. We have about 20 employees, an office in Stockton and New York, in Los Angeles. And that's where it all began, just by chance, really. And I had no plan to start my own practice or anything.
It's really neat. And to answer your question about flag football, it still happens. And I have had friends that have broken some fingers and had to
Yeah.
take their exams with the cast.
I remember that was a big thing when
But
I was there. Yeah.